Welcome to the Heart of Donaldson Hermitage podcast. I'm your host, Troy Charlton. I'm a real estate agent with 25 years experience here in Tennessee. On this podcast, we get to speak with amazing people and hear their stories that make this community such a special place. So today I'm here with Joe Dubin. Many of you know him as Big Joe on the go. Joe has served in the media area here for over 20 years. Many of you also know him as Nashville's media darling. A three-time Emmy-winning newscaster. He served with Channel 2 News. He served with Channel 4 News. And today you'll hear him on 102.5 The Game. Also does color for MTSU football. And what's more exciting about Joe is that he actually grew up in the Donaldson community. A football player at McGavock High School before he went on to college at Sanford. He is a Donaldson native and still lives in Donaldson today and is very excited about what's going on here in the community. You're going to hear today that not only is he about sports, but he is about life. You hear so many life stories, and even more so today, more personally, men's mental health. And we're going to talk about that today. It's such an honor, man, to have you here today. I think of, a lot of stories in the past. We'll cover a lot of those.
Sure.
But this is just like two guys sitting here talking. I just want to hear your heart, man, and what you love about Donaldson. First of all, just thanks for being here.
Yeah, man, it's always an honor. I love talking about anything and everything. You know, it's been a journey in my life of three different parts of being just a young punk, getting married, getting kids, and now on this next journey of life. My kids are grown up. I'm a grandfather now, and it's just weird, but it's how we go through life, you know?
Yeah, I didn't even have grandfather in my notes to talk about. We can talk about that too.
Fire your staff. That's what I do.
Oh my goodness. So let's just kind of start. The media career. A lot of people know you, but again, as we know, not everybody here is from here.
Right.
It's very rare to run into somebody. Hey, I grew up in Nashville.
Yep, it is.
So how did you get started into television, radio? What was were you in high school thinking, man, I want to do this?
Well, it's funny. High school is a part of it. So raised by a single mom who was the best mom ever walked planet Earth. And the 9-to-5 world just beat her down. And plus, you had to keep up with me. So she'd come home from work and then we would talk every day. But I just saw she was exhausted. And I'm a huge guy for women's rights because when you're raised by a single mom, I saw the pure hell she went through. I saw car dealers try to swindle us. Saw bosses try to take advantage of her. And I vowed, that would never happen. And I would fight for that, and I do. And it's not like my big platform. I don't like that stuff. So she would come home and be beat down. I was like, I'm never going to work 9 to 5. I can't do that. I need to find something that explores creativity and a lot of fun. So ended up in college. I 19. I graduated college at 28. Right. So massive screw up before there. And then I graduated, so I had to get an internship. I was going to be a football coach, and I was going to be a history teacher. So I was going to go back to school and do. My best friend's the head coach at Eastern Kentucky, Donaldson boy, Walt Wells. We're all from Donaldson. And I was like, I'm going to go coach football. That's what I like. I had to get an internship at a TV station. So my first day go as an intern at a TV station looking around was the Oklahoma City bombing, April of 95. And I'm thinking, I hate it. I want to be part of this. And then I worked my tail as an intern at Channel 2. I worked and finally my internship came up and a boss came up to me and said, hey, I heard your internship's up. I was like, yeah, I was a sports intern. He's like, well, how about we give you a job editing the noon show? $6 an hour. You work 8 to 1. So I worked 8 to 1 at Channel 2, but my foot was in the door. So if I cover high school athletics, I'm on the insurance. I can take a car, I take a camera, I go cover all these games. Nobody's working this hard. I'm out working every intern around. So it just stuck with me. I was like, this is fun. And as somebody told me working in television, we have the front seat to life. Yeah. So for 5 years, I was a cameraman. I did all things behind the scenes, learned how to edit, learned how to shoot, learned how to light, learned how to everything. And then it propelled me to getting in more into TV, being on camera. And then the Big Joe stuff kind of took off. But it goes back to not wanting to work 8 to 5. I couldn't do it. Yeah. I couldn't do it because I saw my mom just beat down over that. I was like, I'm not doing that. And praise the Lord, man, I got in TV and I just worked my butt off every day. Hey, we need somebody to drive a truck. I'll do it. We need somebody to set the light for the internet. I'll do it. I did everything they asked. And that pays off, right? So I wanted to be a sports anchor starting out. And a guy that worked there, God rest his soul, a guy named Michael Kilbane, great guy. He said, there's only one job on air, but there's 19 off air. Learn how to do those. So I learned how to direct, produce, run audio, lighting, shooting, editing, producing, I learned them all. So it's like, all right, we're getting rid of our editing. All right, well, I'll go do producing. Well, producers are going, well, I'll go be a camera person. And then on and on and on. So I learned how to do it all. I am telling you, if you work hard and don't quit, you'll succeed. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah. No, a message for me and everybody. I mean,
Right.
It's whatever industry it is. I mean, there's no doubt if you're watching or if you ever watch Joe, the passion is there. And I think your passion for that industry, your passion for what you were doing, it kind of avails you to say, hey, me, you're not too good for anything. I want to do it. I want to learn it. I want to be a part of it. And it's when I think about your journey and where I've seen you in so many different places, it's that is shown because your willingness to jump from place to place and learn and know. I mean, people now know you everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're in Nashville,
I'm sorry for that.
He's famous. So now because of your ability to not only television and radio and not just sports, but life. So I raising my kids a few years back was during the time where you were doing the morning parts, where you were going around to different places.
Right.
And just, I mean, where there was a yoga studio or a goat farm. I can't remember all the different places, but literally we had the morning show going. It was rolling in our house where everybody was getting ready. But as soon as Joe came on, we all stopped. It was like, hey, man, let's see where Joe's at today. Because I think you did kind of lean heavy into our area, which was nice.
Yeah.
But so we wanted to see where Joe was, and you always had it was just fun.
Right.
But then there was usually, a little bit more to it. So
think about your journey during the day. You're going to stop at a bagel shop or stop. So, I mean, you're going to make 8, 9 stops during the day, right? That's life.
Yeah.
So when I did that stuff in the morning show, I wanted to show people in the community, not necessarily in the highfalutin places, but in Donaldson, Hermitage, Madison, Goodlettsville, I mean, Laverne, everywhere that people are, and they're just doing things day by day, not looking for the publicity, but cool things that are happening. And you just found those. And Donaldson, Hermitage, especially Donaldson, I mean, I see it every day. You drive by and things, but your journey, everybody's journey during the day takes you different places. Why should I do that on TV, right? Yeah. So do that. No, every boss I had in television hated me. Not disliked me, hated me. Because I was, like as one consultant said, she's like, I can't put my finger on, you're not really handsome, you're not really cute, you're not really pretty, but you're every guy. And I said, is that what we call a backhanded compliment? Because if so, I'll take it, right? Yeah. So she's like, I guess so, but you're every guy that sits at a bar that we talk to.
Right.
And I said, well, can you at least say I'm kind of cute? I mean, at least something, right? No, they never did, but they never understood what I was doing. If you look at television across the country, there's none of that.
Yeah.
Everybody's cute and pretty and dressed properly. I mean, my shirt's wrinkled today. Yeah. I don't care. Right. Once you get to the point of it's not about you, but about other people and helping them along the journey, it's a beautiful day. And that's what television was for me.
Yeah.
If I could get a yoga studio over here or Christmas tree place, or you got a nonprofit going, if I could spotlight you and bring one person awareness to what you're doing, I accomplished my goal. It's pretty simple. It's easy.
I do have to ask, as far as from Channel 4, was Demetria Kalodimos as nice as she appeared?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a different relationship because we loved sports and we loved writing. So she'd come back to the sports office and we'd sit there for hours and watch games together. And my mom loved Demetria, Dan, Rudy, and Bill. So the fact I'm sitting in the sports office and we're watching Chicago Cubs baseball games together in the summer, and there's Demetria. It was just, people don't understand that now because TV anchors don't have that impact that we had growing up. They don't. I mean, there's not and I love all my TV folks in town, but none of them have an impact the way those 4 did. So I was like, God, if my mother could see me now sitting in this office with Demetria talking sports, I mean, she would love it. She was the best. Yeah. And I would go to her with stories I was writing, long form stories. And I said, pick it apart. She'd pick it apart, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to be willing to put yourself out there with somebody like that and say, hey, do it. You pick apart my stories. And she would. I was like, man, Demetria is just going through my stories with that red marker left and right. But she was great. She was when she left TV, it was a huge loss for this city. Huge.
Yeah, and you felt like that whole, and again, sometimes as I do these and think through it, it's my personal story. But that group of anchor people from Rudy, they were part of your family because the media was it was a lot just television then. Radio was there, but not quite like sports radio kind of took off in the 90s. Right. It kind of elevated, Rush Limbaugh, all the different, but it wasn't the same You know, it
Correct.
wasn't. Now, of course, today we absorb media so many different ways, but that special time at 6 o'clock where you just sit and you got what you needed.
Right. I tell people all the time, Bill Hall will always be the most powerful man to ever walk in Nashville. Bill Hall, the weather guy on Channel 4, because he controlled the snowbird, not control it, but he told you when school was out, because we all watched the snowbird report. He was just so powerful, larger than life. I don't even think he was a accredited meteorologist. He was just one of us. And we loved Bill Hall. And so his passing, 13, 14 years ago was tough on the city. But I always think he was the most powerful man in Nashville because he controlled if we were going to go to school the next day. Now, I know I know it's the weather, I get all that. But the way he delivered it, the way his presence was, part of those four within was really good. So it was always been cool because I didn't take Rudy's job at Channel 4 because Rudy went to the morning show. And I don't know if you've heard the phrase, I don't want to be Ray Perkins. You heard that phrase?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, when Bear Bryant retired, Ray Perkins took his job and Alabama fans hated him. And you'll deny it now, Alabama fans. You'll deny it. But I don't want to be Ray Perkins. You don't replace a legend like Pat Summitt or whatever. So I was always like, hey, I'm not taking your job because you went to the morning show, but I'm moving into sports. And so Rudy's a dear friend. So is Dimitri. And of course, Dan passed away and Bill Hall. But they were larger than life.
Oh, for sure. So you went kind of TV to radio, now doing radio. You've got a show every day on 102.5 The Game. And I think if my memory serves me right, you were actually a part of 102.5 The Game when it started as well. So now radio, is it because of your looks?
Right.
Not enough makeup, but what do you like about radio? Maybe kind of challenges that radio brings you that maybe television didn't, or maybe a little bit about radio.
So when I was in television, I started Channel 2 at 10 o'clock. I would have 5 minutes for sports. That became 4 minutes, became 3 minutes, became 2 minutes, became 90 seconds. What am I going to tell you in 90 seconds? What am I going to tell you? So I left Channel 2, went to radio, it was great. Then Channel 4, Rudy had moved on, and they said, Rudy's like, hey, we want you to come work here. I was like, I'll do it. So I was there 6 years. Same thing. 5 minutes at 10 o'clock, then it became 4 minutes, then 3 minutes, and 2 minutes. Then it came to the point where I had a boss who, good Lord, has censored my tongue on this. She said, you have to come every day and fight for your time at 10 o'clock. And I said, what? She's like, you got to fight for your time. If you want 3 minutes, you got to fight for it. So I'd go into the computer and I would put a whole different rundown that nobody could see. I put my sportscast in there. But in the main rundown, in the main template, it'd be empty. So the producer would come to me and she's like, I got at like 9:30. She's like, Joe, I got 4 minutes. You're not, I don't know what to do. I need to fill 4 minutes. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel like fighting today for my time. I'm good. I'm just going to watch TV. She's like, well, I need you to fill. And she's got all nervous. And I said, exactly. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me do my own sportscast. And I put the sportscast in there. She's like, oh, thank God. Well, word got back to the boss. Like, you can't be doing that. I'm going to be watching you very close. I'll be watching you very close and see what you're doing. I said, okay. True story. For 33 days in a row, I wore the same suit. Same tie, same jacket, same shirt, everything. For 33 days in a row. She never noticed. So you're telling me you're going to watch my sport because you're mad at me. You're going to watch my sportscast, see what's going on. But for 33 days in a row, it didn't dawn on you. You were in the same pink tie. You were in the same blazer, the blue shirt. Nobody noticed. Nobody for 33 days. And I was like, I just proved my point. I just proved so it became this cat and mouse game in television. I was like, I'm not doing this. And what the factor was, COVID was really bad. Justin Beasley, who's the public information in Mount Juliet, great guy. We worked together for 6 months on COVID. And we told some powerful, positive stories. And my boss comes to me and he says, I need a list of what you're doing this week. I said, all right, here's 10 stories I'm doing. He's like, I don't like any of them. They're all positive. Like we did one where there's a neighborhood here in Donaldson. A guy lost his job, his house, got behind. Neighborhood does a bake sale, raises $3,000, pays his mortgage for 3 months. It's a powerful story during COVID. Other stories like that, bake sales and things that are going on, people helping each other out. He said, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. The world is crumbling, and we need to see other stories of negativity, basically negativity. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I would send him a list of 5 stories like, hey, Troy's lost his car, and then he's got MS. I mean, just some bizarre false story. He's like, okay, that's a good story. I wouldn't do that. I'd go do a positive story. It would drive him crazy. So you had people like that who wanted just bad stories, and nobody at the time when I was at Channel 4 management was invested in the community. 2 years, I'm out. A year, I'm out. 2 years, I'm out. My boss would leave every Friday and fly to Florida and spend the weekend there and fly back early Monday morning. And they allowed that. He couldn't tell you. Now you get me going. So they have meters. In the ratings. So one time Antioch will have 37 meters. So we get all these stories in Antioch. Sometimes Donaldson will have 28 meters. So one time he said, hey, he's talking to me and there's a map behind him. He goes, you need to go to Gallatin. You got to go to Gallatin. We got 26 meters up there. I said, okay, I do stories all over. Then I said, hey, do me a favor. You pick Gallatin out on that map behind you. He's like, well, I don't have to. I said, I would like for you to pick Gallatin out on the map, if you don't mind.
Wow.
Couldn't find Gallatin. This is a guy leading a TV station. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. Then they came to me and said, hey, we're going to give you another year contract. We want you to stay around. And I'm like, I'm not staying. I'm not doing this. I'm not fighting all these people around me when I know what I'm doing is correct and positive. So I got out of television. And so anyway, I went to radio, and there's a reason I got back into radio. But radio offers you opinion. It offers you to not 90 seconds, phone calls, reaction, opinion. And we just don't do sports. We do everything. I mean, it's crazy how much time we spend on non-sports stuff that's popular. You know what our most popular segment is we've ever had? 2 of them. Do you eat breakfast in the morning? We had hundreds of phone calls. Second one was, what's the best French fry? Crinkle, waffle, regular, curly. I'm telling you, Troy, we took 3 hours of nonstop French fries phone calls.
Wow.
And some other people within the station like, well, that's not sports. And that I said, hey, what does the E stand for in ESPN?
Entertainment.
Yeah. So for 3 hours, I'm entertaining you. Yeah, we'll talk sports. That's fine. We'll do all that stuff. But I want to entertain you. I want to take you away for 3 hours. And somebody described it as a 3-hour cab ride. In your life, how many people would you take a 3-hour cab ride with? Not many, right? No. There's not many. Right. So every day I get on the radio, I'm thinking 3-hour cab ride. I'm going to cab ride you for 3 hours. Let's have some fun. That's how I approach every single show. Let's have we're doing a 3-hour cab ride together. I'm not going to sit there and just, tell you how great the world is and how great I am. We're going to talk. We're going to have fun. We're going to get opinions back and forth. Cab ride. Radio offers that. And it offers a lot more things to do. If you want to call in and talk about a function, a charity function, you got all the time in the world. And TV, it's always, well, if you do this one, we got to do that one. So if you do this one, we got to do this one and that one. So we're not going to do any more. So nobody wins. Everybody gets left out in the cold.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset of being lazy.
Yeah.
Just being purely lazy. So again, thank God at the radio show is going good and it's 3 hours of fun and it's a cab ride.
Yeah. No, it's all. I mean, you guys are great. Like you said, it's we get enough sports. We get enough of whatever we want to see. The algorithms pretty much now tell us what we need to see, and the escape of that is incredible because again, we don't turn on 102.5 The Game to hear necessarily not sports, but to be able to bring all of that within humor and just real life and all of it is pretty fun. So I do enjoy the show for sure. And again, there's a lot of things, the component of high school sports and college sports. And I mean, Nashville right now, I would imagine, I asked you when you got here what your day and weekend had been like. Not sure when this will exactly air here in a couple of weeks, but you did high school or football this weekend, the state tournament.
Yeah. We
got a lot to talk about now with the college playoff that Vanderbilt didn't get into, which is criminal. I mean, it's just criminal. But and so there's just so many different parts of sports. I can't imagine, how do you keep up? I mean, you can't watch games all the time, even with 4 screens. Right. How do you keep up with what's going on enough to have the knowledge to talk about a high school player that you're having to talk about on a Saturday that you may not have even known about until, that's a skill.
Great point. Well, on your phone, the Notes app, right? I'm telling you, the Notes app on your iPhone is powerful. Instead of writing things down, just put it in my phone. So a lot of times you'll see like, why is that reporter on her phone or his phone? I mean, all my notes, I got a ton of pages of notes on my phone that I write down. Like, oh, that's interesting. I write it down. Then you research. But like anything else in life, you're a great real estate agent, right? You just show up every day at a real estate office and sit there? No. 9 o'clock at night, you might be scrolling and there's a real estate story comes across. Oh, I need to read this, mark it, read it tomorrow. You're always working, right? The second you stop moving your mind, you're done. If you sat in your office all day and didn't pursue new leads and didn't be creative, I'm pretty sure you're not going to last long as a real estate agent, right?
True.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. You work all day long. You'll notice a house, or you'll notice a trend, or you notice same thing in sports. You'll notice stuff that's going on. Like I couldn't do your job. In fact, I failed the real estate test twice.
Oh no.
Twice, right? I can't do your job. I can't. I don't know if it's I'm not as smart as you. I'm not as focused as you. That's just not my world. And I'm not competing against you in that real estate world, right? I'm not, because you'll beat me every time. So I know where I'm going to win, what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. I'm not good at real estate because I failed the test twice. I'm good at writing, finding sports stories, and explaining them. And I had to find my path along the way. And so that helped out big time. But it's not like this overbearing, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? You just, oh, okay, write it down. Oh, write it down. And your world is filled with so many people. You talk to people and you know that's the world you're in. So it's not as bad as it seems, but you still have to prepare. I read all the time. I went to Chattanooga this past weekend I called 3 games, and four of the 6 teams I hadn't seen them play all year. Wow. So within 3 or 4 days, I had to learn coaches, players, stats, school, history, I mean, everything. But you just sit down and you study. I don't think people realize you still got to work hard in everything that you do. And so that's how it sounds a lot, but it's not. I'm sure there's more in your world than in my world that goes on. But think about how you approach your day. It's anybody's day, right? So you study, you prepare, and you're there.
Yeah, and the real estate test has nothing to do with being successful in real estate.
But I failed it twice.
That's all right. 3rd time's a charm.
I'm not doing it again.
Okay.
I got 99 and 99 on the state level. I couldn't pass the. If I don't hear the word asbestos again, I'm good. I think I missed every question on asbestos and buyer, seller, all that other stuff. I just
Well, yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know if I passed it by much, but nonetheless.
How many houses have you sold
today? I don't know. I mean, I've been 26 years, man. So I don't count. You know, that's one of the funny things about. And we're here to talk about you, but the real estate world is. You know, it's about accolades. It's about, you know, where am I ranked now? Obviously it's how many people I can help. Now, at the end of the day, I do have a goal. You know, I want to do better than I did last year.
Sure.
And there are metrics, you know, of things like that. But I couldn't even tell you how many houses I sold, you know, from that standpoint.
So why are you successful?
Man.
I got the answer, but I want to see if you say it.
I think maybe the genuineness. I care.
That's huge.
And I mean, obviously, years of the longevity I've had, I've learned a lot. I know a lot. I can talk about it,
right,
and deal with it. You know, years have allowed me negotiating skills and things that I think have kind of helped along the way. But
why is a restaurant successful?
Oh man, wow, put me on the spot, Joe.
The reason you're successful. The reason a restaurant's successful, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Right? I got a friend, buys a house. Hey, who's your realtor? It's Troy Charlton. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because you trust your friends. Now, they said, hey, I work this one real estate. Stay away from that guy or that agency. But you get referrals, right? So a restaurant, you can spend millions of dollars, but if your food's terrible, nobody's going.
Yeah.
But if 10 people are like, you got to try this. We've got some great restaurants in Donaldson. Tenfold, Nectar, right? I don't see tenfold advertising everywhere. Word of mouth. It's great pizza. It's great food. It's great ambiance, right? So word of mouth.
Yeah.
So with you, word of mouth. Word of mouth is huge. And that goes into all aspects of our life. You're like, hey, you got to listen to this radio show. It's crazy. Yeah. We can do every promo in the world. It ain't getting you to listen. But you get a recommendation from a friend, oh man, you're gold. You're sold. It's perfect.
Yeah. And it's honestly over 90% of my business. That's where it comes from. And I can thank my dad for that, you know. So
right.
He set the basis for that through, just again being that person. I mean, it's never okay to be wrong, to do wrong, not be wrong.
Yeah, right.
To do wrong, you do right 100% of the time, and just things that somebody said things. Typically, it's what you catch, what is caught, not what is taught. Dad didn't sit and say, "Hey, be like this, do that." We watched him, and we caught it.
There you
we
go.
We saw him do things that were just like, man, he cares. So we caught that.
Yeah.
And that's just something I can never.
Well, there's I'm a big fan of the TV show ER. And there's a great scene with George Clooney and Anthony Edwards. They go back to Anthony Edwards, Dr. Green's hometown, and they both have opposite fathers. And Anthony Edwards is looking at his dad taking care of his mom. They're watching through the window. She's got asthma and she's about to die and everything. And he's like, you know what? He was just really mean to me and growing up and da-da-da. And George Clooney's like, but every night he was home. He took care of you and took care of your mom. Every night he was there. Whether you like him or not, he was there to take care of you. And Clooney's character's dad was aloof and gone, a womanizer and all that other stuff. It was just the way Clooney said that about your dad, taught by example, right? I'm sure you haven't agreed with your dad 100% of the time, right? Nobody does. But the example he taught you, like you just said, day by day, you learned, God, that's how you do it. That's how, and there's the example. And so with my mom, she never sat down and said, here's the 10 blueprints for success, but she lived it, right? And so I saw her every day. And, people are like, well, you got all these, I got like 7 part-time jobs. Go. That's fine, right? If I sat down for 1 second, if you sat on your butt for 1 second and didn't work hard, that's disrespect to your dad, right? That is to my mom. My mom's been gone 15 years, and I'm still scared to death she's going to walk into the door telling me to get off my butt. So the same thing with your father. He taught you these great things. There's people teaching us all the time, but they're not sitting down with a chalkboard telling us what to do. You see it by their actions. You lived it. I lived it, and I'm blessed to have lived it. I had no relationship with my father. I didn't talk for 35 years before he died. He never met his grandkids, right? And I hated that man. In fact, when he died, I was so happy. And this was only 6 years ago. And I go back, I'm like, you let that man just take over your body, right? You turning into him, hating him. And the good Lord's like, you got to stop this. Yeah. The forgiveness has to come now. And I did. Awesome. Forgave, done, gone. I mean, he's gone. I mean, it was bad. I mean, it was really, really bad, Troy. I mean, it was awful. And to the moment that I let that go, I was good. It took a while. Wow. Forgiveness is tough. Now, there's a lot of things I haven't forgiven myself for. And God and I talk about that every day. I'm sure he's like, oh, God, here he comes again. But that's part of it, of the journey. So we're learning from everybody all around us. You learn from your dad, learn from my mom, and never stop learning. Never stop seeing that coming in. So there's a reason we are the way we are. It's because we had this great foundation of parents who really took the time to show us in their actions how great life is. Yeah.
Speaking of other teaching moments, people that have taught you, because we talk about Donaldson Hermitage here on this podcast, you love this area.
Yeah.
If anybody follows you on socials or wherever, they know you're from here, you're passionate about Donaldson. Take me back to the Donaldson in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I mean, McGavick, obviously high school.
Heaven.
Prepped there, football player there. What was it like here? I mean, I know it's changed somewhat.
Yeah.
But what was it like in the 70s, 80s, 90s? McGavick High School. Maybe share a teacher, your favorite teacher. What was it like?
It was a community, man.
Yeah.
We all rallied around each other. We all knew each other. Parents, we all went to church together. We all grew up together. We all laughed together. We cried together. It was perfect. I mean, I'm telling you, people look at McGavick High School and like, oh, that McGavick. I am telling you, when I was there in the mid-'80s, it was the best high school in America. We all cared. There were no fights. It's funny, I tell people all the time, like, this friend's like, well, you go there now, it's 80% black, whatever it is. I said, when I was at McGavick, we didn't have any black students. What do you mean? No blacks were there? I'm like, we never looked at you as black or white. Nobody did. Color never played into what we did over there. We were just all one big happy family. Black, white. I mean, I am telling you, it was the best. I tell people all the time, I didn't have any black football players on my team. What? It's impossible. I didn't see, we're all together, man. Yeah. And a lot of high schools are still that way. You go to any locker room in America, that's where you need to go into. There's black and white in there as one. Donaldson was one. We were all one together, and it was great. I mean, the churches were good. I mean, they're still great. But I'm saying we all went there. You know, the Young Life programs that we all went to, took trips together, and it was a coming of age like in a movie. But there was no crime. There's no fighting. We were all broken at some point. I think half my friends come from divorced homes, but we're all one. You know, and whether you lived in the biggest house in Lake Park, out in Hermitage, or, you know, a one-bedroom apartment at Burning Tree like I lived in with my mom, it didn't matter, man. We were all together. So it was a truly wonderful time. Good people and great everything. And you go back, now I wax poetically all the time about McGavick, how great it was. You know, John Terrell was a teacher, chemistry teacher over there that taught us nothing about chemistry, but everything about life. Yeah. Taught us how to raise bird dogs, taught us how to just life, what it was like to be, you know, tie a bow tie. I mean, we learned from some great people back then. And it was a special time. And to see everybody go off on their own. And look, I tried to leave 7 or 8 times. I had job offers in Phoenix and Dallas and Tampa and St. Louis. I couldn't leave. I know it sounds like, not a regret not leaving any of those times, because this is where it was. And when I worked in TV, people would come in and they're like, well, I'm living in Brentwood now. Where do you live? I'm like, well, I'm living in Donaldson. They're like, Donaldson? That was always the reaction. I'm like, you'll see. Go out in your Brentwood world. That's fine in Franklin. Go live down there. I'll stay in Donaldson. We're good. And the joke now is like, I have a full-time job in Donaldson. I tell people like, well, what do you do? I said, my job is I get on the pedestrian bridge and I don't let East Nashville people come over. And you say it with a deadpan, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. I said, I'll work every day. I'm like a sentry on the bridge over there. I don't let East Nashville's not coming over here. And I don't tell them that I'm joking. And they walk away thinking, God, he really works on the bridge over there to let people come over.
We're looking for it.
Right. But it's still always good at the core is a good place. I mean, I still got friends' parents who live on McGavick Pike and all around the area over here. And as much growth has happened, look at the core, man. It's still here. It's beautiful. Yeah. So you can go to Brentwood. You can go to Hendersonville. You can go to Murfreesboro. I'm staying right here.
Yeah. No, it is for sure. Of course, I grew up in Priest Lake, the other side of the lake.
We took that because all your boys were zoned to McGavick.
Yeah, that was a long haul.
Yep.
I mean, a long haul to get around the lake to get to McGavick. And
I don't know how that was ever figured out, because like we're here, y'all are down here, and then there's like another whole school zone here. And then you guys all had the success of McGavick athletics. Half of it was due to the folks from Priest Lake coming over. Yeah. I don't even know where they're zoned to now. Antioch?
Cane Ridge.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of split up.
Right.
But a lot has evolved. You know, I think now. But before I go there, I wanted maybe 3 quick words and get your response. Fletcher's Pizza.
Oh my God, you can make me cry.
I thought you might.
People don't look. It was maybe 1-star food.
Oh yeah. With
5-star everything. I mean, the food. I took friends who are like, "This is cardboard pizza." I was like, "Heck yeah, it is. It's the best." Yeah. Why do you come here? Hey, there's so and so, and there's so and so. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. Hey, what's going on? You'd see your people you grew up with, right? So you see people that were part of your DNA growing up. Makes you feel good, and you'd see them walk in like, "Oh, I love that guy. I haven't seen you in a while." It was just that ambiance. It was cardboard pizza. It was spaghetti that looked like I made it, right? I'm not sure where they got the sauce from. I don't know.
It didn't matter.
Perfect.
Right. The coleslaw was excellent.
Right. Everything was excellent about it. I'm telling you, it probably got 1,000 1-star reviews, which is fine. Yeah. It was perfect.
For those that are watching and aren't as familiar, it used to be on the corner of McGavick Pike and Lebanon Road.
Yep.
And then moved to the Plaza, now Red Door Saloon.
That's right.
Is located there. So it just, wave pool.
The best.
Yeah.
The best. If you went after 4, you got it at half price.
Yeah.
So we would do football practice 2 days in McGavick and during August and go over there and get it done. But we all gathered because if you lived in a house, you didn't have a pool back then. Only us poor apartment kids had pools. So we'd all go to the wave pool and hang out all day long. And it was a part of us that's still underrated. Yeah. Because we would just go there and be kids.
Yeah.
And it was the best. And it's still going on, right? I wish a private entity would take over the wave pool. The government runs it now, that's fine. But could really put a lot of money into it and make it really special because it's right there, right? Yeah. And so Opryland's got their big water park. Nashville, they're great, right? But the wave pool, man, it was just something about that simplicity of the wave pool will always be there.
Oh, yeah. All right, one more. Moskovitz.
Gonna make me cry again here, Troy. So Moskovitz was a clothing store on this side of town that if you lived in Brentwood or Green Hills or Bell, you didn't know about it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, man, back to school, it was the greatest clothing store of all time. You buy your Levi's there or your Lee jeans, and it was just a simple store. You walk in, people would help you. There's the rack. You'd buy it, you try them on, be done. And they knew your name. They know who you were. You walk in there. All times now you walk into a store, and I get it. They won't know who you are, but it was simple. Moskovitz, when I hear Moskovitz, I always think about my mom because we'd wait to payday and we'd go to Moskovitz and buy our clothes for the school year.
Wow.
And it was just right here in Donaldson. That type of business would never succeed today.
Yeah.
Would never. Because you got Amazon, you big box stores, you go there and do that. But a simple clothing store, because now it's all about the profit, right? We need to make, $2 million. I'm not sure Moskovitz made a penny. Because they never changed anything. It was always the same. But we always went there and shopped. And it was beautiful. And it's funny, the green military stores there now, same structure, same aisles inside. If you can walk down memory lane, go check out Green Military because it's there. But Moskovitz, Wave Country, and Fletcher's, they're part of my DNA forever. And a lot of us too as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sad day when Fletcher's closed for sure.
Out of the blue.
Yeah.
COVID hit hard.
It did.
And I get it because it was a buffet, hit really hard. Then they came back on Tuesdays only. And then he said Tuesdays, a year later, Tuesday's our last day. And I think everybody went Friday and ate all the food. And then he had no food left. So he closed on like a Friday or Saturday. Remember, he didn't close on that Tuesday. And I'm like, I'm going to go Tuesday. And then his food was gone.
Yeah. COVID changed a lot of things, I think, for a lot of people. And, and brought forth challenges where I guess I kind of want to end on this as far as challenges, because I know one of the things that's dear to your heart now is men's mental health. You don't have to listen to Joe Long on any of his formats to understand that that's a passion for you. And I appreciate that. It's a passion for me as well. And I guess what led you into that? What's kind of, honestly, it's something people don't want to talk about. Men don't want to talk about it. But what kind of led you into that? Where's that passion come from?
So the high flying life of working in news and being on the go and everything. And I got out of TV. I went to work for one company for a while. Wasn't really good. And then about October of 22, I sat down. I'm like, what am I doing here? Right. And I'd lost my identity. And I was like, this is bad. And Troy, every day for about 6 months, all I thought about was how I could end my life every day. Meanwhile, being the happy-go-lucky, hey, look at me. And October 23rd, 24th of 22, I was like, all right, this is my first spell. I was done, right? And so I was like, I came close. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hold off and see what happens. And I lost my identity. It got worse. I was working odd jobs here and there. Then I went to the corporate world, which wasn't me at all. And I had another really bad spell. And every day I thought about, I just want to do it. I'm done. I've got no future. I've got no hope. And then about June of 23, and I've been going back and forth. I was like, all right. I said, God, we got 2 weeks. I'm going to give you 2 weeks. We're going to do this in 2 weeks. And I'm done. And I had bought ties to see if they were sturdy enough. I mean, this is how I got into it. And come to find out, a lot of guys do this, right? All I had to do during this journey was talk to somebody. But I'm a tough guy. If I'm weak, then you got me. So I said, God, 2 weeks, right? And Troy, I am telling you, I poured my heart out, and this is the power of prayer. I poured my heart out, and 2 days later, I get a phone call. It's my friend Chip Walters from MTSU. He says, hey, we had a mutual friend who just passed away. I thought he was calling to talk about that. I said, hey, you heard about Bobby? He said, no, he's calling about something else. He goes, my analyst just stepped away, and I want to keep having fun. He was great, but I think we would have a lot of fun together. You want to call MTSU football games? And I'm like, yeah, Yeah, I do, right? I'm like, all right, I see you. And then 2 days later, 102.5 The Game called and said, hey, Chase McCabe called and said, hey, my co-host is moving back to Kentucky. I got a slot, doesn't pay a lot of money. I know you're in the corporate world, you're probably doing pretty well. You want to do it? And I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it. So I took a massive pay cut, right? Haven't missed a penny of it. Haven't missed a penny of it. And then I remember I went to Clover Bottom where the first time I thought I was going to end my life. And I went over there. There's a barn. There's the mansion. There's a barn to the left. On the back side of the barn, nobody could see you. And I sat there and had to sit down there quiet and said, thank you. And this was July of 23. And I said, thank you. I see it now. I mean, we talk about the veil being removed from your face. Removed. I found gratitude. I knew what gratitude was. I didn't know what it meant. I found gratitude. I found hope. I found salvation. I found forgiveness. I found love. I mean, I've been a massive screw up for a lot of my life. And I realized God doesn't keep score.
Yeah.
He doesn't, right? He just wants you. Right now, he doesn't want you to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? But it opened my eyes and I got you. I was like, how many other men are going through this? And then that day I read a passage. I read a thing about mental health. It says most men lead lives of quiet desperation. That was me. I was the quiet desperation. I said, all right, I'm going to have this platform and I'll be unabashed of my love for Jesus, for other men, for mental health, for talking every day. And you're not going to silence me. They've tried to, not the radio station and not my co-host, but people like, you're wasting your time. Don't do that stuff. I had a guy reach out. I do these Sunday scaries, right? And he said, this is last Super Bowl Sunday. He's like, you're not going to post that on Super Bowl Sunday, are you? Nobody's going to see that. And I said, do you think I post these for views, for hundreds or thousands of views? If one guy sees that video and says, you know what, I need to talk to God tonight, my job's done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this for views.
Right.
Not doing it for anything else. I'm just a conduit, man. I got a platform to help you get along where you go. So I'm telling you, Troy, the amount of men who've reached out in the 2+ years it's good and bad. It's great they've done it, but it's bad that there's so much out there that need to be helped. So if you just talk to someone, I tell them, just talk to someone. Your cell phone, you can call people. We got help through the radio station you could get doing. I mean, just talk. And the amount of men who've reached out and done this has been overwhelming. The fact that I know they're going home tonight to their family. And then, I had, I think, 12 friends that committed suicide in a 3-year period. And it was devastating. My first intern in television did it. A good friend of mine, sports writer, just lost his job. And I said, we'll figure this out, man. We'll figure it. And he took his own life. And it was like, I've been there. That's why I've been to that moment where it's like, I got nothing. And I'm telling you, man, you got so much to live for. It'll drive you crazy. There's so much to live for in this world. So my job is to let you know how powerful you are. And there's a God who loves you. And I'm telling you, the power of prayer. And all the time I say, situations and miracles change every second. Why can't you be that miracle? Right? So every night I go to bed, I ask God for opportunities.
Yeah.
And I tell people, he's not going to give you what you want. He's going to give you what you need. And that's a huge difference, right? Want and need. And the needs come and they're great, man. So I do it every time. I am relentless with it. And it's funny, when a guy called the radio, he's like, yeah, I see that. He goes, but people are still taking their lives. You're kind of just wasting your time. And so I told him the starfish story. You know the starfish story?
Yeah.
Well, for those that don't, I'll make it real quick. This kid's walking, all these starfish wash up on the beach. And he's throwing them back in the ocean. And this guy walks up and says, hey, man, there must be tens of thousands here. You can't save them all. The kid picks up another starfish and throws it in the ocean and says, what do you know? Just saved another one. We can't save them all, but we can try.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I do the message all the time.
Yeah. And that's awesome. I think I do as a man, and I think you've said it too, and I would admit the same. We don't like to admit we're not perfect.
No,
I don't know. I don't understand that pride or whatever that wells up within us, but understanding we're all messed up.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to say that, acknowledge that. And I think, and maybe you've mentioned there's, through the radio station, there's a phone number you can call. There's a lot of places.
Yeah.
But we need to create spaces as men that's safe for that. For me to be able to come and say, man, I'm struggling right now. Either A, I just lost my job, or A, I don't know why I'm struggling. I'm struggling.
Yeah.
And I need help. And there's not, I think honestly, and I'm a church guy, I've been in church my whole life, but I think that's a place that's missed it.
Right.
It's like I go there, I've got to appear perfect. But honestly, God tells me I'm not.
Yeah.
But he tells me he loves me, and he makes me perfect in light of what he's done. I will never achieve perfection. And so I've got to be able to come to a group somewhere and say, yeah, I'm flawed. We're flawed. How can we encourage each other better? Where can we come and lift each other up to a place of understanding that we will never be? I mean, we're never going to reach. You could lose both of your jobs today, but yet now having at least experienced this love of God to say he loves me. Mm-hmm. In spite of whatever I'm doing, I may be shoveling snow. Hopefully it snows so I can make money. But whatever it is, I'm here.
You're still here. That's the beautiful part. I don't worry anymore. I truly don't worry. Like, I got all these things happening the rest of the month that are going on. We got bills paid. I got events to go to. I live for today, this second. Being with you right now is the most important thing in my life, because I'm not guaranteed tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's about the moment that I'm in right now. And that's all I care about, is being in the moment, taking care of today, living for today. Tomorrow will happen. If it happens, it's great. But I can't worry about that. So again, they have AA. Men go to AA all the time, right? Why? To get help. Why can't we have that stuff? And I don't know about the church as part of that, but yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not open a men's group every Tuesday from 7 to 8? Come, show up, and just talk, right?
Yeah.
And no judgment. But we're so daggum stubborn. Yeah. I am, you are, we all are. Right. 3 weeks ago, and I'll make this real quick story. Everything in my life was going great. Great, right? And so I freaked out, man. I mean, everything, like selling. I do a lot of selling. The radio is going good. The radio station's going good. The football stuff is going. I was like, all right. So I reached out to my ex-wife's husband, who's a great man. And I said, I need to talk to you, man. He said, yeah, we got 50 minutes. We talked about, I'm like, he's like, man, God's grace is beautiful, right? So I still reach out to people, right? And so it sounds crazy that your ex-wife's husband, we've been divorced 25 years, right? And they've been married 13. Good man, right? I needed to bounce some stuff off of him, and I felt better doing that. Yeah. He said, when good things happen to you, just give thanks, man. Yeah. Don't worry about that you don't deserve it, because we don't deserve anything, right? He goes, but you're getting this grace and this mercy. He goes, just thank God. And it just, the clarity in my mind, I was like, all right, appreciate you, Brad. It's good. That's what it was. Reach out and talk to somebody. That's all I'm asking. Talk to someone, and it changes the perspective of everything. And you find the gratitude, and you find the love and the passion and everything else that goes on in your life. And we've all screwed up. Me, massively screwed up. And there's a reason I'm still here. Yeah. Praise God.
Well, dude, you've been gracious enough to give me probably more time than I did.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Yeah.
And I know you've got places to go, busy day, but man, thank you.
Appreciate you.
This time's been awesome, and I'm encouraged by what you're doing. How can people follow you? What's the best way to just kind of keep up
Big
with
Joe on the Go, or Google Joe Dubin. That's the easiest thing to do. I've kept the Big Joe on the Go thing forever.
There you go.
I mean, so it's just a moniker to keep where you're going, and so that's how you find me anywhere.
All right, Nashville's media darling.
Dang right, 26 years in a row.
That's man. And
by the way, that's I hope. I mean, that's a joke, right? I've had other media people reach out to me. I'm not kidding you, and said, "Hey, I didn't know I missed the nomination for Nashville's Media Darling. How can I get part of that?" And I was like, "All right, who is narcissistic today? Gotcha. Check 2, check 3.
I'm gonna run against you,
right?" I said, "It's just I don't tell them this though, but it's just a joke I made up many years ago."
It's stuck,
right?
It's stuck. Man, thanks again.
You bet, buddy. All right. Always.